do you find a mentor? And not just any mentor, a high value mentor. I hear this question a lot, and it's a good one that bamboozled me for a long time. It's kind of like asking, how do you make friends? But like reduce your options by a couple thousand people, insert rigorous schedules, different geographic locations possibly, and a wildly unbalanced demand to supply ratio. But here's the thing though. Mentorship can change your life. It allows you to condense your runway, if you understand what I'm saying. You don't have to take as long to build your vision because you have a blueprint from someone that has done something like what you want to do. But here's the thing, right? The mentors that are just readily available at your beckoning call probably aren't the ones that you really want, right? And the ones that you really do desire, that you really want to get a hold of, are hardly ever available. But recently, I was able to secure $25,000 worth of coaching and mentorship from one of my dream mentors who just a year and a half ago literally had no idea who I was, what I wanted to do, or where I was even located in the world. So how is the question, right? I'll share those steps in this episode. Let's go. You're listening to the Build Your Vision podcast, a podcast series about maneuvering the ups and downs of building a life that you're proud of, captured in real time. A community where dreamers become doers and doers become world changers. Let's go. Yo, what's up? This is the Build Your Vision podcast, the number one self-leadership podcast for visionaries who are serious, not just curious about building a life and business they are proud of. And I am Clee, the visionary, your self-leadership coach, and it is my mission to lead you on the journey of becoming a visionpreneur, individual who makes impact and income with their ideas, insights, influence, because someone needs what you are building. Now, back in season 4, I released an episode called 3 Proven Ways to Create More Opportunities for Yourself and Avoid Wasting Time. What a title, right? Well, in that episode, I shared some opportunities that I have been afforded just by showing up and being in the room. Here's a clip from that episode. I received not just an award, but I received a $20,000+ scholarship into a business mastermind while at the conference. Literally because I decided to show up. Like, I have video proof of that is exactly why I got the scholarship.
Sometimes I throw out fleeces, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm like, okay, if he's here, I'm going to do this. I'm giving a scholarship you for access to.
Well, that's true. All that's true. But there's some backstory that I didn't get to share in that episode. And that's what I want to share with you today, because it can help us answer this question/challenge that I keep hearing about mentorship. And the same question that I was asking for a long time. I was afforded a $25,000 scholarship by a virtual mentor of mine into a business mastermind. I recently flew to my meeting and met so many amazing people. And of course, you know I had to carry my recorder on me. We are here right now in Atlanta, Georgia. I have a whole lot of people around me, and I'm going to be interviewing a few of them. Ruth.
Thank you so much for having me.
I got George with me.
So full name, George Sego.
My name is Cecily Cooper.
Could you introduce yourself, please?
Sure, I am Charlize Ford.
Jackie Grice.
Hey.
Also, pro tip, if you want to network but aren't super outgoing or good at sparking conversations, just carry around a microphone. People will just naturally start coming to you. It's crazy. Now, a business mastermind is basically a group of individuals who come together to grow their businesses by leveraging the network of each person in the group and then leveraging the expertise of the leader who has already done what the other members are trying to achieve. So in this case, by serving people with the knowledge you have in your mind and experiences you have in your life, we're making a whole bunch of impact, but also making a whole lot of income. Here's how Griselda, one of the mastermind members and a women's business coach, describes it.
Like crazy people in a room that believe that they can change the world. Yeah. And it's not just believing, but they're actually doing it. They're putting the work. They're doing crazy things that if you were not in the room, it would be so easy to get discouraged. It would be so easy for you to say, what in the world am I saying? Which those thoughts come to my mind, except that I have a group of people that is like reinforcement by example, right? It's like, oh no, I'm like crazy, but I'm not the only one. So let's keep going. So that's what this last investment has been for me. And it has been an incredible experience being able to say, I don't know how to do this, but has anybody done it? Can you share with me?
Now, did you notice that I said I secured a scholarship from a virtual mentor? Virtual meaning, yes, the only interaction I had with this person was through a screen 90% of the time. And I could usually see him, but he usually couldn't see me. See, I found this guy on Instagram and then subscribed to his YouTube channel, and he had no idea who I was, where I was from, what I was trying to do with my life. And all I knew was that I wanted to be like him in a lot of ways. He was doing things that I wanted to do, and he was doing them in the manner that I wanted to do them. What do I mean by that? He was serving people in a way that I wanted to serve people, not just in his business, not just in his profession or vocation, but in his life. That is the first key to attaining high value mentorship. Find mentorship from people who are doing what you want to do, how you want to do it. The how you want to do it part is really important because you still have to live your life every day, right? That's why on this podcast, we always say to help you build a life in business you're proud of. If you're choosing a mentor, don't just choose one that has the money that you want or who has the fame that you want or who has the title that you want. Choose a mentor whose life you admire, because a thriving business with a failing life is a poor existence. Anyway, I started following this guy on the internet, and one day I saw that he went live on Instagram. So, of course, I clicked on the live, and during this live, it felt like he was speaking directly to your boy. Like he was just hitting on everything that I was feeling. Of course, he probably was, because he's a great speaker, right? He's a great public speaker. But whatever he was sharing, I knew I wanted it. And he made an offer while on the Instagram live to be a part of a mentorship program that he was launching. And of course I wanted that, right? Then he said this.
The general is simply $47 a month.
$47?
He needs some milk.
A month? Honestly, at that point, I don't think I had paid that much a month for anything other than rent, of course. Not even my internet bill was that much. And I was borrowing a Netflix account. So I was thinking, man, $47 a month, that's a lot of money. And to a lot of people, maybe even you, it is. But at that point, I had a decision to make. Which was more costly? Me staying stuck where I was in life without mentorship going in the direction that I wanted to go, or the cost of me investing in myself? Well, I came to the conclusion that me staying stuck could cost me infinitely more over the rest of my lifetime than me investing a few months of money into a mentorship. So I enrolled. What's the worst that could happen? I could always cancel, right? Well, needless to say, because I'm making this episode, the program was amazing. It wasn't even actually the mentor or the program that was the best part. It was the community I joined. Like Griselda had said earlier, I was suddenly surrounded by a ton of people who thought like me and wanted the things that I wanted in life. Now, my mentor was still a virtual one. He still had no idea who I was, where I was, what I wanted, but I was able to get more access to him. That is the second key in attaining high value mentorship. So the first one, find mentorship that is doing what you want, how you want to do it, because you want to build a life and a business that you are proud of. And the second one, do whatever you can to gain more access to the person. That could be anything from getting in a program that they're offering, doing a live event online that they're doing, going to an in-person event, whether it's at a conference or their own event that they're doing, even getting hired as an employee of theirs, volunteering at any events that they're going to be at. Anything that you can do to get more access to them, do it. You can even start small and work your way up, which is essentially what I did. I started watching his free content first in the comment section, being active. Then I made a bigger investment, $47 a month. And you'll see pretty soon that was not where my investment ended. So as time went on, I'm going to just actually share with you now. I have invested over $10,000 in getting mentorship from this individual. I know, sounds crazy, right? Like, especially when I was tripping over $47 not too long ago. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Cleve, you are getting wrung dry by one of these phony internet gurus, man. What is wrong with you? I thought you were smarter than this. They take your money and offer you some fluff that doesn't really do anything but get you excited for a week and motivated, and then they dip with a fortune. I know. I used to think that too. And that is not to say that does not exist. It does exist. I've been involved in some other things and they have not delivered. But I learned that that's not the case for everybody. And the fact is, you're not the only one that thought that. I thought that. And some people even at the mastermind thought that too.
I was such a huge skeptic in people investing in themselves. People, hey, you pay me this will change your life, blah, blah, blah.
That's George. He helps minorities build wealth through financial literacy and real estate. He and his wife are in the mastermind.
So I'm actually here with my wife, and so she probably was putting this bug in my ear for a long time. And I was like, man, that's not it. That's not it. We're going to do this. She's actually been a part of some groups that she's invited me to, and I was like, nah, that's okay. And but like I said, I had to have a mind shift change in order to understand the value in self-investment, and then where that can take you as it relates to your calling, as it relates to your purpose, why God put you here. Because we all here for a reason. We're all here for a purpose. And I know this is the right investment in myself to be where God wants me to be for my purpose.
Yeah, 100. And you know, the thing is, I kind of relate to that, right? Like, okay. These guys just trying to take your money. They not, whatever.
Yeah. And I think what he was talking about this morning, where we're shifting the culture in the marketplace. This helped revive like my faith.
Right.
Right. And people like, there are people who are legit, authentic, want to help people, want to serve people. And they charge a fee,
right?
You could do both.
Yeah.
And I think this is just like so helpful for having proof, because I know lots of people that listen to this show that are visionaries. They have their own communities. They're trying to build their own tribes, and they could get some of that same feedback. Oh, nah, you just trying to blah blah blah. You just one of those marketing guru people, right, or whatever. But it's real, and you just have to have that discernment of understanding. This is some place where I could place a seed, and I'm going to reap a harvest. And I think we've both experienced that so far.
Yes, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I hear that in your story, man. Now, was I rich? No, I'm still not rich. I didn't even have true disposable income at the time. I emptied my savings accounts. I got credit cards. I did whatever I needed to do to get in the rooms I wanted to be in. Yes, I was awarded a $25,000 scholarship into mentorship and coaching. Yes, the net worth of my network has 10x'd over the past year. And yes, I do have favor and blessing in the eyes of God, but none of this happened on accident. Getting connected to who you desire, getting in the rooms that you desire, making the money you desire, making the impact that you desire takes investment. That is my point with all of this. And this is what I failed to share in that episode in season 4. If I knew that I was going to get a 25K return on a 10K investment, I would have did it in a heartbeat. But I didn't know that. And you're not going to know that. All I knew is that I was going to bet on me. I was going to invest in me because I know God placed something special in me. And the best appreciating asset I could ever have is not stocks, it's not real estate, it's not crypto, it's myself. It's me. Charlize, another mastermind member and life coach, she said it like this.
Each of us are ingrained with the ability to make our lives different. Like, we have the opportunity to live heaven on earth. That is your opportunity. And so it is your right, it is your privilege, it is your pleasure, your desire to make that happen in your life. Mm-hmm. And so but that only comes from transformation. The Bible talks about renewing your mind. That is the only way.
So the third thing you must do is invest in yourself. This is how you attain high value mentorship. So we know that we have to find a mentor who is doing what we want to do, how we want to do it, because we're here to build a life and a business that we're proud of. And you got to do whatever you got to do to get more access to the person, because you never know what that access can afford you. An email address, a possible phone number, a direct line of communication that they actually have set aside for a special group of people, them responding to you, recognizing a comment, getting used to your face on your profile picture so that if they see you in person, they actually recognize you. All these different things come from getting more access. And the third thing, you got to invest in yourself. This could be financial investment. This could be an attention investment. This could be an energy investment. It doesn't matter. But if you're waiting on great mentorship to just come to you somehow, then be prepared to wait for a long time. And always remember this: time, especially with you being young, Time is the most valuable asset you have by far. It's always going to be your most valuable asset, but especially if you're still in the process of building, time is your most valuable resource.
Cleavon, I tell you, and that's one of the things that I'm committed to. Like I tell people off the bat, I can save you 10 years, 15 years.
That's Jackie. She's also part of the Mastermind, and she co-owns a multi-million-dollar transportation business. But she's also developed a new personal and business development program to help other people do what she has done.
You know, so much of my time and my husband's time was spent making money. You know, and if I were sitting where you're sitting, there's so much that I would tell you to do and to focus on.
And, you know, our mindset, I'm young. I'm like, oh, I just got to get the bread. I got to get the bread, you know, and having that wisdom when you're starting is huge.
All right, guys. So just to quickly recap once again, the first thing you want to do is find a mentor who's doing what you want to do, how you want to do it. The second thing you want to do is do whatever you can to gain more access to that individual. Third thing you want to do, invest in yourself. I'm telling you, the best access is in the paid rooms. The best access is in the places where you have to put in some effort. The less effort that you're willing to put in, the less of a great connection or access you're going to have. And here's number 4 and the last thing, guys. The fourth and most important thing you can do is pray. Now, why do I say it is the most important thing? Well, 1, I believe in prayer because I believe in the truth of the Bible. And the Bible says if we ask for it in Jesus' name, he will surely give it to us so that the Father in heaven is glorified. Look it up for yourself if you don't believe me. It's in John 14, verses 12 through 14, and a couple other places in Scripture said in a different way. But let's just do this. Let's just be logical for a second, right? Not saying that, you know, faith isn't logical, but I'm a perpetual skeptic, so I'm just going to do that work for you on this one. The second reason you need to pray in real faith is because prayer stimulates your RAS, your reticular activating system. You remember learning about that in high school? Your reticular activating system brings your anticipation to the forefront of your consciousness in your brain, making you more spiritually aware and observant. Things that you would have missed or overlooked before, you start to notice, and doors start to open that you otherwise would have walked right past. This is what my mentor calls activating your sixth sense. There's a whole episode about that. I think I've said that a couple of times. Of course, I'll put it in the show notes. So pray for God to put the right mentors along your path and for them to have favor with you. There's some things that are just out of your control. You have to trust that God is going to do it for you. Even if it's not in the way you think is going to happen, the things he has up his sleeve for you, I'm telling you, is so much better than what you could ever think of. I would have never thought about getting a scholarship into this program. I just thought it was a no. Like, it seems so far-fetched. I never would have thought to even pray for it. I didn't ask to get a scholarship. I didn't even apply for anything. But I believe I found favor in the eyes of God, in the eyes of man, because of my faithfulness to the vision God has given me. And God can do the exact same thing and even more for you if you just seek him first in all you do and trust that he will make the vision he has given you work for his glory. So to just kind of wrap up the story that I started in the beginning, I got in that program, the mentorship, that was $47 a month. I ended up enrolling in the beta version of the actual mastermind that was $25,000 early because I trusted to do it early. And it was like the most expensive thing I have ever done in my life. It was $5,000 at the time. I invested in it. And then I continued investing in myself, getting coaching training so I could be certified as a coach to help you guys better and all this stuff. And while I was at an event to get my certification, that's when I was awarded the scholarship. The whole time leading up, I was investing in myself. I was giving it my best. And like I said in that episode in season 4, I was showing up in the room, and not just showing up, but doing my best to put my best foot forward every time I showed up. I'm encouraging you to show up. Find the mentors that are doing what you want to do, how you want to do it, so you can build a life and the business you're proud of. Do whatever you can to gain more access to them. invest in yourself, and pray. And there is nothing that can get in your way. I 100% believe that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much to all my featured guests on today's episode, a part of the I3 Inner Circle. And thank you to all those I spoke with walking around with my microphone who were not featured in this episode due to some technical difficulties, but still poured into me greatly during our conversations. You guys are honestly the best. Hey, look, if you have any questions for me, whether it has to do about getting mentorship or anything else that you've heard on the podcast, you know we got a new voice message feature on the website. Just go to buildyourvisionpodcast.com and click on the blue voice message tab on the right side of the screen. That's on mobile or on desktop. Buildyourvisionpodcast.com and send me a voice message. I'd love to hear from you. And you could possibly be featured on a future episode, just like some guests are featured on today's. All right, guys, that's it for me this week. But as always, keep building your vision every single day. Peace.
Executive production by Cleavon Davis. Music production by Cleavon Davis and Christian Hernandez. The Build Your Vision podcast is a product of Build Your Vision LLC.